Welcome to This Week in Weiss Schwarz, where we talk about Weiss Schwarz's news and cards of the day. There is no news this week in the world of Weiss Schwarz, but folks, we got a lot of Adventure Time cards to get through. We have been shown some Adventure Time cards in the past, referred to last week's episode, but I am considering this the first look episode of Adventure Time because we got a gang load of cards. And since there is no news, we're just gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start with this 1/2 event, the Nidosphere Amulet. You can't play this card if you do not have a character on the field. Pop a Marceline character and choose one Marceline filled with chaotic evil from your waiting room and play it on the stage and send this card to your memory. That card is a 2/2 character with 2 soul, and that states that if you have the last event in your memory, this card gains 4k power, and when it's reversed in battle, clock yourself, rest it. And memory, if you have 2 or more other cards in your memory, this card gains the following effect. When it reverses an opponent in battle, you ditch salvage. And while we're at it, Hudson Abadir is on play from hand. You could ditch 2 cards, your opponent stock swaps, and when this is sent from the stage to the waiting room, you memory shoot the 1/2 event from your waiting room. Hudson Abadir Chaotic Evil gains 3k power if you have the event in your memory. On play from hand, if you have 2 or more other characters, you could choose a character in your clock and send it to your memory. And Climax combo, when this card reverses an opponent in battle and you have Ruler of the Nidosphere in play, clock shoot. We currently do not have the Climax available for this card. Wildberry Princess is a level 0 bomb, and when it is reversed in battle, you could pay 1, ditch a card, send this to memory, search your deck for a character. Yeah, like I said, there's actually a lot of cards. We're gonna stick and focus on these cards right now, and we'll cover the rest of them later in the video. So these cards right here, they do work hand in hand, and we do have a skeleton for a deck right now. And the way that these cards interact with each other, I'm seeing a semblance of a memory-centered deck. If you're making a Marceline or a Hudson deck, there's a good chance that you're going to be having a Marceline in your deck. So this card does become an early drop. There are a decent amount of anti-early drop backups at a level 1 now. There's not a lot, but they do exist. But all you need is 1 amulet for this card to go to 10k power. Now, when it is reversed, it is a mandatory clock encore. Your opponent is going to have to find different ways to get rid of this card. Not just when it's at level 1, but in general. 10k power is pretty damn strong for a level 2. And on reverse, you can filter your hand, which is helpful in certain situations and can come in clutch. Like, let's say you have another copy of the Marceling in your hand, you use this effect, you ditch the Marceling, and let's say you get the 3/2 Hudson. If you look at it that way, you can start prepping for your level 3 game. The 2/1 Hudson is pretty damn good, although you are minusing 2 in hand advantage to stock swap, but again, you can ditch your cards to get the Marceling in your waiting room if you need to. As well as you can even ditch the event to accelerate it into the memory, because this Marceling does need 2 of them for its salvaging effect. And it is kind of crazy how the 1 memory clause is the more powerful one, and the 2 memory clause is more of a toolbox kind of effect. I would assume it'd be the other way around, but goddamn, this card is good. So because of the 2 cards in your memory, it could be any card in your memory, and that's where this does come into play. You search your deck for a Marceline that you could play at a level 0 or a level 1. There is no Marceline currently at a level 0 or level 1. We do have a Marceline, but that's at level 3. So you get the Princess to get the Marceline to get fodder for the event. Also, I am very glad that this card's first effect is a bomb. That way you don't have to wait for your opponent to run it over, or for you to only just crash it. You could take down another character with it. Look at her. It's the face of a killer. Now the 3/2 Hudson. Yes, yes, I like this a lot. 11k power as of now because we do not have the Climax revealed yet, but I am hoping that it's a 1k1 and an arch. It does heal, and you compress your deck as well as the clock shoot. No other cost, just Climax reverse. Now if this Climax combo does use an arch Climax, that's super easy. It's like no big deal there. So in total, let's say your best case scenario, you memory shoot 4 Wildberry Princesses, 4 amulets, and let's say you play 3 Hudson Chaotic Evils while you're at level 3 and your clock is at 3. You are out a total of 11 cards out of your 50 card deck, plus your levels, so it'll be a total of 14 cards. Hell yeah. Moving forward, we are going to talk about Bubblegum Princess. Up to 3 times per turn, if you play a character from your waiting room to the stage, this gains 2k power and Climax combo. When you play Science, and this card is in your center stage, and you have another character, this card gains the following ability. On attack, pay 1, twin drive, and at the end of this card's attack, you can stock charge a character. The Climax is a standby and soul when triggered. Dude, this card is good. Oh, hold up. Is it on a double rare? Yeah, it is. Ooh, I think this one's gonna be the expensive one. Now, what I really want is a Bubblegum Princess card or just a level 0 Brainstormer that is one of those like this Amelia here. So what this card does is you pay 1, rest itself. For every Climax hit, you can special summon. You can call a character from your waiting room to the stage that's cost 0. If a card like that is in Adventure Time, you're gonna be running 4 of them. Now that speculation is out of the way, let's get to some hard facts. If you play the 1-2 event, this card gains power because you're playing the Marceline from your waiting room. You play a standby, this card gains power. When you trigger the standby, this card gains power. I do like how the first effect almost fixes the standby mechanic, kind of in a sense. Also, I really do like how this card's Climax combo is not an on-reverse effect, and on top of that, it's got 2 effects in the Climax combo. So with the twin drive, you do pay 1, but you're still plussing 1 in stock, so you're not technically losing any stock. In a way, it's kind of just like your typical battle step. You go +1 in stock when you attack. Now with this effect, you do gain 2 stock instead of only gaining 1. You attack with the card, you pay 1, trigger twice, and when everything is done, you get a stock charge a character. I do like this a lot. Alright, bear with me. The next couple cards are, they're very small, and they're gonna look like hot ass when they're blown up, but bear with me. BMO Buttons Push states that when this card is sent to the waiting room, you could ditch a card. Top check up to 4 cards from the top of your deck. Add a level 1 or higher character and you ditch the rest. Ice King, the king of ice. Yes, he is an early drop if you have 2 or more Remember You in your memory. Side note, we currently do not have any information on this card. The turn that this card is played from hand, this card gains 4k5 power, and it is an anti-backup for both players until the end of your opponent's turn. So in a way, it is a semi-standard early drop. We don't know what that card is, like I mentioned earlier. This card is giving me heavy Kosaki vibes, and that's just... This card is huge until the end of your opponent's turn, and your opponent can't use backups. Granted, neither can you. This card is pretty good as well, but this is not going to be your win condition because this card might be. If you have Remember You in your memory, this gains 3k power, on play heal, and Climax combo. When My Best Friends in the World is played and this is in your center stage, choose 2 characters in your opponent's waiting room and send them back into their deck and they shuffle. And this card gains 1k5 power and the following ability until the end of the turn. When it reverses an opponent in battle, you can pay 2, ditch 2, burn 3. We currently do not have the Climax. I personally like the Hudson combo better, but this isn't too bad either. It's a steep cost, but this seems more like a peck to the death kind of scenario. We don't know the Climax, but this is a double rare, so we can't assume that it's going to be a 1k1 and maybe a gate. You are swinging heavy with this card, but sending 2 characters back in the deck can be helpful. It decreases your chances in canceling. Here are the last couple cards, Jake the dog and Finn the human. We're going to start with Jake. 4 character early drop, gains 500 power for each character, and on play from hand, top check your deck for up to the amount of characters that you have, add 1 card, and you ditch the rest. That is super easy to get the early drop going. You can go up to 11k power, and the digging is super good because you could get any card. You could get events, characters, or climaxes. At 11k power for an early drop, that's kind of a lot. Lastly, Finn the human has experience, level 5 or higher. This gains 1k5 power and the following ability, on attack, pay 1, twin drive. And lastly, once per turn, on the turn that this card is played from your hand, when damage dealt by this card is cancelled, mill the top card of your deck, and you burn for the level of the card milled +1. These are not bad. I wish we did have a Climax combo to go along with a Finn or a Jake, because we have Climax combos for pretty much all of the characters, minus the Ice King, I believe. On account that they are the main characters of the series, and I would like to see a little more reveals coming out for them. Either way, I really do like all of the combos that we do have going. This set is shaping up to be pretty damn good, and I am interested to see more cards when they do come out. Hey, wait a minute, isn't this an anime card game? And with that, thank you all for watching. What do you think about the Adventure Time cards? I really do like them personally, and I can start seeing the builds coming out with these combos, but we still have a lot more cards coming out in the future. Like, these are just like a total of maybe 15 cards. I am definitely going to invest in this set, and I'm super excited when it does come out. Again, Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Weiss Schwarz news and content, and I will see y'all in the next one.